Blush blindness? Who? Blush blindness? Where? Did she do nails? I think I need my nails done. You guys, what you guys think? You think she could come me up? Is she a cryptid? Is she an alien? I don't believe she's real. Y'all see the base all over my TikTok? I've been seeing painted by Esther, painted by Esther. Oh my gosh, Nicolandria is like one word in Love Island, and the Darling Hold My Hand, Jet to Holiday, everywhere. And I was like, you know what? I usually don't follow makeup trends, but this actually looks really cute. It looks really fun. Let's try it out. So, if you want to figure out how I got my base to look like this, with all this blush, I got a nice smooth ombre. And at this point, my makeup has been on for hours. I don't even think I remember to put on setting spray earlier. The setting powder and the makeup alone is just standing on its own. Like, literally so cute. So fun. I had to go outside and show you what this looks like in the sun, because my studio lights are not doing it justice. And I'm going to include some clips right after this video. And I'll see you guys later. If you want to, stay tuned and figure out how I got my base to look like this, because it is so cute and I love it. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying out the viral base routine painted by Esther. She is a makeup artist. I've been seeing her work all over TikTok, mainly because of the popularity of Love Island, one of the characters on the show. I guess she's not a character, she's a person because it's a reality show. Her name is Olandria. First of all, Olandria is drop dead gorgeous. She literally looks like she was created. Well, I know she was created by her mom, but like she looks like art. Like, she's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I've been loving this really bright blush that she's been wearing, and I've been seeing other makeup creators do this, but I'm gonna do it and take it in my own way. So this video is just gonna be a base routine of me doing a look inspired by that. I am gonna thin out my foundation a little bit because I noticed that some people are using like a BB cream, CC cream, or like a lightweight foundation, because that's, you know, what Painted by Esther uses apparently. So we're gonna I already put like a little squirt of lotion at the back of my hand, and I'm low on foundation. I'm using the one size turn up the base full beat, and this is shade 35 NG. I might put like a picture of it here. I'm gonna have links to all products below as much as I can. You know, full disclosure, I do get like a little kickback from those links, and it does help support me. So if you do find anything that you like and you are interested in purchasing it, then, you know, please use my links. It's not, you know, gonna cost extra or anything, but I'm placing this at the back of my hand. So you may notice my face looks slightly different today, and that's because I decided to go ahead and color correct my face before I do this foundation look. Just pat, making sure that it's on pretty even. And I'm just placing these little pats on my face, and then we're gonna blend. As always, I highly recommend that when you put on foundation, if you have dark circles and you know you're gonna want to put concealer underneath your eyes, to really try to limit the amount of foundation that you put under your eyes if you know you're going to put on concealer, because the more product you put in this area, the more it's going to crease, and you don't want your makeup to crease. So I'm doing my foundation around the eye, not necessarily directly under it, because I know I love a bright concealer. I know I like to layer my concealer, so that is why I'm kind of like going around it. Okay, so now that my foundation is nice and blended in, now is about the time that I usually go in with my setting spray in between my layers to make my makeup last longer if I were going somewhere today. But since I'm not, I'm just not going to do all that. I am using, okay, so unfortunately I am still using my e.l.f. contour stuff, but I'm just going to use what I have until it runs out. And once it runs out, I'm fine to share with y'all. So don't come for me for using e.l.f. It's what I got, and I'm gonna use what I got until it's gone. I don't see why I would throw away something that I already have. Like, I already spent money on it. It's not gonna hurt e.l.f. if I throw it away, don't use it. I just need to do that. So I'm gonna contour my face with the e.l.f. concealer. It's not actually that dark. It's kind of cool tone. I did do a little bit of mixing with this to make the pigment stand out a little bit more, but we aren't gonna do it too heavy because it's all gonna be covered up by blush, especially around like the cheeks area. I do like my NYX contour, but I'm really low on that stuff, and I have stuff to do this weekend, and I don't see myself going out to the store to get some more until I'm already out and about. So I'm just using what I have for now. Nice and big, high up on the cheekbones. You really want to snatch your face in. I know this shade looks like it's a little bit too dark for me, but I promise you it is my tone. Like, this shade matches with my neck and like the rest of my body, and once I contour, it's just really gonna come together. I'm gonna go over my contour with ColourPop's Super Shock bronzer in shade 22G. Looks like this. It's like this shade of brown. It's like a slightly darker brown. It's not as pigmented as actual contour, but it's really gonna like help blend everything together, because some of these are warm and some of these are neutral. Like, I just want to make sure that everything is properly blended. So I am using this bronzer I just find that bronzer really helps to unify things in between your contour and foundation, so that it doesn't look like such a sharp contrast and it just looks more blended. But that is just my personal opinion and how I personally like to do my makeup and the steps that I like to take to achieve how I want to look. The way that Esther, Painted by Esther, does her blush is like, she starts off with a really bright pigmented red towards the outer cheekbone, and she does not blend it up like I typically would, and she doesn't go all the way up in here. She just kind of concentrates that red, and then she powders it with like a setting powder or translucent powder, whatever you have access to, and then she uses different shades of pink, and it's like a ombre. It starts from dark to light, you know. It's like red and like a reddish pink, and then like a very pale pink along here, and that is what helps give it its look. So we're gonna start off with Sushi Glow Cosmetics Love Note Blush. This red is so pigmented. Like, this is the most pigmented red blush I have ever tried in my life. I usually have to use red eyeshadow, but you definitely could like tell the difference between this and eyeshadow. So I'm gonna start off with a very heavy, very concentrated, decent amount of this red along here. And once I feel like it's concentrated enough, I'm gonna like diffuse the edges, you know, kind of soften it up, diffuse the edges a little bit. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Red is nice and diffused on both sides, so we're going to set my face. I'm using the One Size Rich Peach, just like doing little taps like this, and kind of using the top to just do that. And then she goes in and uses a concealer, like a little dollop here and a little dollop here. Little dollops, and then she blends it out. And then she does these tiny little dots. Tiny. I'm gonna blend out the rest of my concealer on my face first, and I'm gonna do my eyes last because I want to let them sit for a little bit. Okay, so the rest of my face is blended as far as my concealer is concerned. But one thing I want to say about when it comes to blending your under eye concealer is that you want to blend down first, blend down and then spread and then blend up. You don't want to start at the top and work your way down. You want to start at the bottom and work your way up, sort of thing. Like, this technique really helps to get it in there and help reduce the creasing as much as possible. So we're gonna start and we're gonna blend down before we blend up. And we're gonna do tiny little pads. You don't really need to have too much. You don't need to be like super strong handed when it comes to your under eye area because the skin is really delicate. So, you know, we're blending down. Tiny little tabs. I blended in my concealer and I'm gonna start building my pinks from like dark to light. So I'm using this One Size blush palette, and it's like the Girly Pop palette. And then we're starting off with Choose Me and then Pick Me. So Choose Me is this top shade that is like, it's like a cream. It's like a cream blush. And then Pick Me, is it called Pick Me? Yeah, and then Pick Me is like the powdery shade. So we're just gonna blend one into the other. So just, this palette is like so used. I use it all the time. I'm not just using it because One Size sent it to me, but like I genuinely just really love it. And we're gonna pack that pink on. And I'll just keep building our pinks all over the cheekbone. Like, she really brings her blush down. Like, the blush takes up at least 1/3 of the space. And I love it. Blush blind is weird. God forbid a girl has hobbies. Okay? God forbid a girl has hobbies. So, just gonna pack it and bring it down. I'm gonna blend it with like this kind of fuzzy brush that I feel like is more of a blushy brush. I'm just gonna blend it into that red. And I'm gonna take that same small brush and I'm going to use Pick Me. And right next to it, blend. We're gonna blend all the way up to the eye. Blend. Like, this blush is not just a cheekbone thing. It is a full on, like, take up this much space of your face. Alright, so we're gonna go off script just a little bit because I don't have like a super pastel pink blush, but you know, pigment is pigment. So I have this giant rainbow thing from Ink Dolls Cosmetics. If I can find a link to them, I will post them below. I'm not even sure if they even sell this palette anymore because I mostly see Harmony, like the owner. She sells like mostly glittery stuff now and like pastel stuff. Like, she's always changing things up. But if you get a chance to get your hand on this palette, then I highly recommend. But, you know, this pastel pink right here, I'm gonna be blending the darker pink into the pastel pink just because I want that ombre effect. Now, because this is an eyeshadow, it's not as vibrant as the blush, but it's still gonna give me the look that I want, like that pastel pink look. So we're gonna use our Lost in Love ColourPop Valentine's Day palette in shade Ever and Ever. I'm gonna place a picture of it on the screen for you guys to keep up. But it's like this really pale pink that, you know, could blend with my concealer and really get into that bright under eye. But you know, it's a gradual blend. And I blended everything together nice and smooth. Remember that red that we first started out with? So remember that red that we first started out with, and then we kind of like blended with some setting powder? So I'm gonna go and rebuild that red to really turn up the base on how stark and contrast this is. So we're going back in with Sushi Glow Cosmetics. And we're just gonna turn the base up on that red because, you know, it kind of got a little bit blended. Okay, so now we're going to bake. You gotta do the cooking by the book. Down, bitch! Let me see you back it up! And, you know, set our face. Well, mostly the eye under eye. Now that everything is nice and blended. She uses like a really thin, you know, kind of, she doesn't make as heavy as I do, as I would say. Like, she just kind of uses like a very thin, you know, little tab of setting powder, just so that, you know, all of that color doesn't just get so washed out. And you pretty much just want to bake where you put concealer. But, you know, we're not baking today. We're just doing nice little pats of setting. I do kind of want to go over my nose bridge a little bit more to kind of define it, because I feel like the contour isn't as dark as I want it to be. Done with my base. This is how everything is looking. Really nice. Very mindful, very demure. I really did try to follow the tutorial to a T and not deviate so much from the tutorials that I saw. However, I did go ahead and contour my nose with red because I'm going to be doing like a red and black look today. I feel like it's going to really go with this really nice pinky look. And I want to do kind of a gothic eyeshadow look with this bright look. Just because I'm not a put in all this work into my base and just put on mascara and brown liner type of girl. So I am going to make a separate video showing you guys my eyeshadow, but I just really wanted to play around with this base because it just looks so cute and I've been seeing it everywhere. Like, are you kidding me? That is adorable. I'm really loving it. So like, comment, subscribe, share with anybody that you feel like would be inspired by this type of content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.